Now let's solve another math question together. What is the value of the expression 20 plus 20 divided by 2 squared times, open parenthesis, 6 minus 1, close parenthesis? Many people, when solving this question, first go for the addition between 20 and 20. And instead of this expression, they write 40 divided by 2 squared times, open parenthesis, 6 minus 1, close parenthesis. In the next step, they go for the exponent. And I write this expression as 40 divided by 4 times, open parenthesis, 6 minus 1, close parenthesis, close parentheses. Then they go for the division between 40 and 4, and instead of this expression, they write 10 times, open parenthesis, 6 minus 1, close parenthesis, close parentheses. In the final step, they go to the expression inside the parentheses. And instead of this expression, they write 10 times 5, which finally gives them the answer 50. However, this answer is actually incorrect. Also, some people, when solving this question, first go for the expression inside the parenthesis because they believe parentheses have a higher priority than the other operations. So instead of this equation, they write 20 plus 20 divided by 2 squared times 5. And the next step, they go for the exponent. And instead of this equation, they write 20 plus 20 divided by 4 times 5. Then they go for the multiplication between 4 and 5 because they think multiplication has a higher priority than division. So instead of this equation, they write 20 plus 20 divided by 20. And in the final step, they go for the division between 20 and 20 because they believe division has priority over addition. So they rewrite this equation as 20 plus 1, which finally gives them the answer 21. However, it's not the correct answer to this question. To solve this question, we must follow a rule that is called PAMDAS, as you can see on the screen. In this equation, first we have an addition sign, then a division sign followed by an exponent, then a multiplication, and finally parenthesis. According to the PAMDAS rule, first we go for the parenthesis because parentheses have the highest priority than the other operations. So instead of this equation, we can write 20 plus 20 divided by 2 squared times 5. And the next step, we go for the exponent. Because in the PAMDAS rule, after parenthesis, exponent has the highest priority than the other operations. So we rewrite this equation as 20 plus 20 divided by 4 times 5. Then we go for the division and multiplication because multiplication and division have a higher priority than addition. However, we must pay close attention that multiplication and division have the same level of priority, and we must perform these two operations from left to right. So first we go for the multiplication between 4 and 5, and instead of this equation we can write 20 plus 20 over 20, and we will this 20 plus 20, which is 40. In the final step, 21 and 22. The final answer is 2. Another one. Also, some other people, when solving this question again, go straight to the expression inside the parentheses, but this time they start with the multiplication between 4 and 2 because they think multiplication has priority over division. So instead of this expression, they write 3 minus open parentheses, 16 divided by 8 closed parentheses, and multiplied by 2 cubed. Then they go for the division between 16 and 8, and instead of this expression, they write 3 minus 2 times 2 cubed. In the next step, they go for the exponent, and instead of this expression, they write 3 minus 2 multiplied by 8. And the final step, they go for the multiplication between 2 and 8, because they believe multiplication has a higher priority than subtraction. So they rewrite this equation as 3 minus 16, which finally gives them the answer minus 13. But that's definitely wrong. All right. Now, let me explain it step by step how to solve this equation properly. To solve this question, we must follow a rule that is called PAMDAS. As you can see on the screen in this equation, first we have a subtraction sign, then parentheses followed by a multiplication sign, and finally exponent. According to the PAMDAS rule, first we go for the expression inside the parentheses because P or parentheses have the highest priority than the other operations. And inside the parentheses, we have one division sign followed by a multiplication sign. It's very important to remember that multiplication and division are at the same level of precedence, and we must perform these two operations from left to right. So first we go for the division between 16 and 4, and instead of this equation we can write 3 minus open parentheses 4 times 2 close parentheses and multiplied by 2 cubed. In the next step, we go for the multiplication between 4 and 2. I'll write this equation as 3 8 multiplied by 2 cubed. Then we go for the exponent, because in the PEMDAS rule, after parentheses, exponent has a higher priority than the other operations. So instead of this expression, we can write 3 minus 8 multiplied by 8. In the final step, we go for the multiplication between 8 and 8, because multiplication has a higher priority than subtraction. So instead of this expression, we can write 3 minus 64, which finally gives us the answer minus 61. All right,